We live in a world of constant pressure, of judgment, of what we should be doing, and that sets us up for a lot of internal dialogue that's very, very damaging when we live in such a world like this, where we disown who we are, the love that we have in our hearts, the soul that we are. We step away gradually over time, usually in our early childhood, away, further and further away from self-love. And, we're born as a baby having nothing. We don't know anything but love. We incarnate from the realm of love. We came from love. God is love. We're here for a reason. And for that one reason, we deserve to love ourselves the way that the divine sees us. Yet the society that we live in is so rooted in, Hollywood, and, it's about how fast you bounce back and get that flat stomach after you've had a baby and all this stuff. And then, breezing through menopause and, watching the women that never struggle with their weight. And so as we start looking outside of ourselves to compare ourselves to others, we chip away further and further and further from our own ability to love and accept ourselves. And so over the years, we start looking in the mirror, and particularly as we begin to age, we start criticizing, the tits are dropping, the ass is dropping, the dimples are there, the skin sags are there, the stomach's there, and all this stuff. And so we tend to look in the mirrors, just berating ourselves, beating ourselves up. And then we get stuck into that cycle of shame, which is so damaging, and it's such a low vibrational frequency, because we are trying to do our best. We're trying to resolve the problem in the way we think it can be resolved, which is, if I lose weight, if I exercise more, if I just do this, it's if, then I will get to a place where I can look in the mirror and be proud of myself again. But it doesn't work like that. And women in this program that have lost significant weight here will all tell you that if you don't do the self-love work, if you don't do the mindset work to deeply heal and come into a place of nothing but love and gratitude for your life and everything in your life, and learn how to be in loving relationship and flow with life, you will lose the weight, but that inner person inside of you would not have changed. This is where we are getting it back to front. And this is why I constantly say we have to love ourselves into fruition. We don't get to delay the gratification of love till we've reached a goal, which is generally unobtainable, because the egoic mind is like an insatiable taskmaster. When we're identified with those negative thoughts in our head, of which we have about 70,000 thoughts in the day, 90,000 of those are the same thoughts as we had yesterday on repeat, and 80% of those are negative towards ourselves and to others. So we're living through the conscious lens, through this level of consciousness where our body, and therefore our biochemistry and our energetic fields, are consistently bombarded with negativity. And we know through the study of vibrational frequency and the science behind the photons of light that every single cell in your body has its own vibrational frequency. There's 1.6 hertz in every cell of light energy frequency. And the clearer we become, the more we unpack the baggage in our life, the more we return to love and into flow and back into faith and surrender to life, then the higher vibrational frequency each of those cells have, and that is supportive of health. When we're hanging out in just the negativity all the time, over and over and over on repeat, just like it's just automatic, it's just there. We're not even really conscious of it unless we bring that conscious awareness to ourselves. We're really lowering the whole energetic field, and that creates disease, it creates pain in the body, it creates disharmony, leads towards depression and anxiety, and all of those things. So learning to love ourselves, again, remembering how to love ourselves is a better word, comes down to really remembering who we truly are in our divine nature, that we are a soul having a human experience and we're worthy of love. So no matter what we're going through in life, what we've been through, what we've done to others through our own bad actions, through our own egoic pain in the past, we have to learn to forgive ourselves for those things, because whatever we've done in the past, we did the best we could at the time with the information, with the knowledge, with the experience of what we were going through. And there are multiple things I've done in my life that I could choose to look back and go, shit, you did this, and then I could go into the feelings of guilt. And instead of using the feelings of guilt as a biofeedback to say, oh, I need to course correct something here in my character, I need to work on this part of myself, what tends to happen is people drop into shame. So guilt, of course, is I did something wrong. It can be a useful tool if we can use it for what it is. Whereas shame is I am wrong. And as soon as we go into I am wrong, we have completely removed ourselves from our ability to love ourselves. We're looking through the lens of judgment and criticism and ridicule and beration. And so, you know, as women are going through their journey to return to love, it's so critical that you put this above anything else. You know, I really think that we need to start looking at this as judgment loss, not weight loss, right? We want inner size instead of exercise. We've got to, you know, really exercise the internal part of us deeply. And we really should be focused on the mind diet, not the diet itself, because all of those things come from a place of deep self-love and self-worth. They don't come the other way around. And I think this is where the whole world in the diet industry, beauty, fashion, magazines, Hollywood, you know, all of this stuff is just sending the complete wrong message. So no wonder we're programmed to disown ourselves, to not really genuinely love and care for ourselves, and to constantly criticize ourselves. And so when we're feeling out of alignment with self-love, there's a number of side effects that impacts every area of our life. It impacts all of our relationships, because we can go into jealousy, we can go into insecurity, we can go into more and more feelings of I'm not enough. That can impact our intimate relationships because we want to disown ourselves sexually, so we can't surrender, we can't be free, we can't just fucking enjoy pleasure anymore because we don't deserve pleasure. There's all these different areas that it filtrates into. And then it also filtrates into our career and financial worlds, because all of a sudden we're carrying feelings of not being worthy, of not being enough, who am I, you know. And so we get focused on the wrong things, you know, we get focused on the wrong things. And perfectionism is one example of that. You know, we think that if we are good enough or do things perfectly enough or strive to do this or, you know, all of that stuff, then somehow we're going to fill this insatiable need for love. And the truth about love is we can only ever receive the vibrational frequency of which we are within ourselves, for ourselves first.